Welcome on to the Sports Giant Network, and I'm reviewing UFC 314 that took place this past Saturday. As we had an amazing card, it was a really amazing card. I was hyped for it, like a lot of people were, because it was actually a good, very good or stacked card. Leading up to it, and actually delivered, which is awesome to have. That a card like that deliver, which they always do. Usually the cards in Miami or Florida are always good in terms of it being stacked and delivering for the most part. I talked about this. I talked about it in my preview video, and I talked about it during the live stream that we did on Playback and Twitter. Excuse me, about how the cards always deliver in Florida, and it did. So that's awesome. So it's really great that happened. Very happy about that. And this was a legendary performance from Volkanovski. That's why I put a legendary performance for a reason. It was because of what he did. Is it Volkanovski's best performance? Probably not. But it's a legendary moment for his career because of the fact that actually, I'm probably gonna put legendary moment or legacy fight. That's probably I'm putting the title. Legacy fight, legacy main event. So if you're watching this, it probably has something like that on the title by the time you see this video on YouTube, Rumble, Twitter, all the platforms. But yeah, Volkanovski, and I'm wearing this shirt. Listen, I'm wearing this shirt for the review. I don't know why I got this black stuff on my shirt. Just realized that. Ugh, wish I know that sooner. But anyway, I'm doing the review. Like I said, I'm wearing the shirt again because I have to. Because Volkanovski, what he did, man, it deserves the shirt being worn. Deserves it again. Just great performance, feel good moment. I mean, there were two feel good moments in this card at least. And this was an awesome card. Like I said, Volk I'm gonna talk about. Reyes, the other feel good moment. But yeah, overall, Mike, this was a great card. 8, 9 out of 10 card. Phenomenal card. That's all I gotta say. And I did well with my predictions, actually, surprisingly. Did well. And I'm gonna go rapid fire the early prelims. First fight of the card was Nora Cornell defeating Haley Conwell via submission. Submission the second round. Rear naked choke. I said Cornell was gonna win because I thought she's ranked better, comes from a Muay Thai background, fought better competition than Conwell, who's been injured for most of her career, hasn't fought that often due to injuries. And Nora Cornell is a girl who could, move up in the rankings in the bantamweight division. Just had some talent. Like I said, Muay Thai background, good fighter from France. Hopefully she can make weight this time because she missed weight this fight, and I think her 2 fights before this one for her, she missed weight, but her opponent also missed weight. But yeah, she can just maintain the weight. In terms of making weight and stuff, she should be moved in the rankings and could be someone that can move up pretty quickly in that bantamweight division. And also now I think about it, is it me or it seems like women fighters tend to miss weight more than guy fighters? It's something that I feel like someone mentioned it, and now I think about it, like I saw someone mention it online like a while ago, and now I think about it, it seems like women tend to miss weight more than guys. Not that they're missing a lot, but still, it happens more often with women fights than male fights. I don't know if you guys feel that way or not, but that's something that it seems like that's a trend. Something that I've noticed. Maybe I'm wrong, but let me know. Which changes from that fight to Marco Tullio defeating Tresean Gore via knockout in the second round, 3 minutes 13 seconds. Wow, Marco Tullio looked very impressive. He looks wow. It's a shame they get bonus because that performance was pretty damn good. Now Tresean Gore fought well. He did rock Tullio several times. I think he even dropped him in round 1. I think he did drop Tullio, but Tullio got up immediately and was just pressing forward and beating up on Gore. Tullio hit body shots, body kicks, leg kicks, like punches. Like he was throwing everything, laying on Tresean Gore, and Tullio was able face through some adversity himself. Had like a little cut or like a swelling underneath his right eye. You could say he got dropped by Tresean Gore, was powerful, but Tullio won like I thought because Tullio to me had twice as much experience fight wise as Tresean Gore, and I thought it was going to come to play a factor. And he's now on a 10-fight win streak. Coming into he was on a 9-fight win streak, and now it's on a 10-fight win streak, 14-1. And I think his fight previous to this was his Contender series fight, if my memory serves me correctly. But great victory for him. Comes out of the shooter box. Even it's an offshoot shooter box, but still shooter box. One of the legendary gyms in MMA history. Still producing good fighters, surprisingly. Charlie Oliveira, example, and things like that. But great performance by Tullio. I was impressed. If there's any fight from the prelims, like performance that you guys should like, if any performance or fight in the prelims you should check out, this is the one I recommend. Just to see how good Tullio looked. He looked very well. I mean, Tullio's a guy who I will not, man. If he stays active, he could be ranked like top 15. If he fights again like in the summer and fights again before the end of the year, I think he can get ranked. Because I mean, maybe I know, like maybe I'm kind of like overhyping. Maybe I'm too stuck in the moment with Marco Tullio, but man, Tullio really impressed me with that performance. Like I'm really impressed by him. 10-fight win streak, 14-1 now. So I'm watching out for him. I would not be shocked if this guy's ranked. He looks so good. Like he looks like the real deal. We're changing from that fight to the next fight, which was Summer Durji versus Mitch Rabasone. If Summer Durji wins via unanimous decision, I don't know how people thought Mitch won. Summer Durji did more damage than him, and I got that fight right. I mean, I'm not saying because I picked Summer Durji. I just thought, well, he did more damage to him in rounds 2 and 3. Coley, I mean, it was obvious. I don't know how anyone really thought that Summer Durji lost. I think it's crazy. If you watch the fight and read the criteria, Summer Durji should have won. Summer Durji was the rightful winner, and the judges got it right, clearly. Like, I don't see how you can go the other way, personally. Durji just, I mean, that's just me. Like, maybe I'm not just me, but I think people rewatch it again. And when the rules, and you'll see that Summer Durji did more damage and won based off damage, and Mitch Rapazzo didn't really do any damage at all. Really didn't do that much to really dominate the fight in the final 2 rounds. So, yeah, good victory for Summer Durji. Makes sense. Judges got it right. It's changing from that fight to the midweight fight between Mikhail Sejcik and Cedric Dumas as Olechek wins first round TKO. First, Dumas, I don't know why Dumas was complaining. First of all, you got dropped by a forearm. Literally, a forearm of Olechek caught Dumas. Dumas fell and got and got dropped. And like, Dumas all he did was just this. Like, he moved a little bit, but he just did this. And as some of Olechek's ground and pound broke through the guard and landed, not a lot, but some did. And then some of the elbows started, like, a couple of elbows broke through. And Dumas just kept doing this. He didn't. He wasn't trying to move to get up or hold on to him or throw something back. He just kept doing this, and the ref had no choice but to stop it. And Dumas got upset. It's like, no, bro, you got rocked, and you didn't do nothing. You didn't defend yourself intelligently, and the ref stopped you. And the ref stopped it. That was the right decision by the ref. Dumas clearly lost that fight. Bad performance by him. Terrible. I mean, you getting dropped by a forearm. Like, that's crazy. And I go like Sejcik has power, but still, a forearm like this caught him. I mean, like this or like this. I'm surprised. Like, wow. Cedric Dumas, man, not a great performance for Dumas. Oh, and I got that fight correct too. Olechek winning. I gotta give myself credit there. But man, Olechek's good. Like I said, he's a guy, and I think MMA Guru said this, and the more I think about it, he's right. That he's a guy who, if he's a guy that can give a lot of guys in the top 15 problems. Olechek, despite his record, that Mikhail Sejcik like fought anyone, he can potentially upset them in the top 15. He's that skillful, and who knows? Maybe he finally makes his run in the middleweight division, actually straight up a bunch of victories and gets ranked. I don't know, wait and see, but good performance by Mikhail Sejcik. We're changing from that fight to the main prelims now, as Julian Erosa beats Darren Elkins TKO. This was an awful fight to watch. Sloppy, low level, sad to watch for Darren Elkins. Like, Darren Elkins, he got retired, man. I'm just gotta keep it 100. He's taking way too much damage, living up to his nickname. He looks super slow. He looked way older than he is. Darren Elkins is like 39, 40. He looked like he was in his 50s, 60s type of the way he was fighting. And the crazy thing is, I think he rocked or dropped Erosa, which is insane. They think Erosa got dropped by him. Like, really, Erosa? And then Rosa was able to get up and like basically, beat the brakes off him and beat him up until the ref stopped it. And even then, Rosa straight looked terrible. He didn't look that great. I mean, he landed shots, but it wasn't anything impressive. This fight was just awful to watch. Ugh, this is low level, super low level. Like, this is something I expect from like a regional scene. Like, this is like a regional fights in the 10. I expected this is like two regional fighters who are early in their careers fighting each other, or at the end, or or guys in the regional scene in their career fighting each other. Because this was bad. This looked terrible, man. Aaron Elkins needs to retire straight up. That was bad to watch. I don't know what that was. That was just disgusting. That was awful. That was bad. And Orosa looked bad. See, they both look bad, but Elkins especially. That was just sad to watch. Like that, yeah, Elkins needs to retire. Congrats to Orosa. I'd say he was going to win. He won, but man, he didn't look good either. He didn't have a freaking cut or bruise on his left or right eye, Orosa. This was, not a great performance from either man, especially Elkins. Oof. Very sloppy to watch. Yeah. Now, a fight that was bad. Now, a fighter had better performance than that, and an older fighter who actually fought decently. And well, hang on, let me adjust my camera real quick. Actually, hang on. Sorry, the camera. The camera moved a little bit there, but Chase Hooper gets the unanimous decision victory over Jim Miller. Jim Miller, I thought, won the first round because he took Hooper down and was going for submissions and almost got one, but it wasn't deep in like that. To me, Miller did more in that first round, in my opinion, to win that round. But then rounds 2 and 3, he got dominated by Chase Hooper. Hooper dominated him, took him down, went for multiple submissions, out-grappled Jim Miller, who was a very good grappler in his own right, very good submission guy. And Hooper was out-grappling him, going for submissions. I know Hooper has a submission background, and that helps. And he demonstrated here in this fight against Jim Miller, a guy who's got a good grappling background himself, and was going for several submissions. He went some weird like reverse calf slicer. Like I don't know how to describe it. Like if you watched it, you know what I mean. Like the legs were tangled up, but it was like he was trying to like do a reverse calf slicer or like some leg locks, but the legs were all tangled. It looked very uncomfortable for Jim Miller. But he is flexible because I mean. I wasn't grimacing too much from what I saw. Maybe it was, but I didn't see it. Not from what I saw watching the fight, but still, it had to be painful. I can imagine, especially if you're dealing with someone like Hooper is going for a reverse calf slicer. So this was a good performance with Chase Hooper. He's on a 6 fight win streak now. He's beating Jim Miller, who he's older and he took a lot of damage last year against Bobby Green in UFC 300. He's still a solid fighter. He doesn't look washed like Darren Elkins. He actually looks like a capable fighter that could be guys who are unranked in his lightweight division. Looked good in the first round. He look athletic. His defense was still good. Hooper did enough to win. It was a great performance by Hooper. And Hooper, I wouldn't mind Hooper find someone in the top 15 in terms of like 12 to 15 type of range, or fight someone that if he beats that guy, he gets a ranked opponent. Someone who's just outside the rankings. I like to see how good is Chase Hooper. Where can he go? As he's 25, about to turn 26 soon. It'll be interesting to see what's next for Chase Hooper. Great performance by him. We'll go from that to Virna Jandiroba versus Yan Xiaonan. Virna Jandiroba wins by Yan's decision. So I get a sip of water here. Jandiroba won her grappling. Like, she was able to take Yan Xiaonan down and control her and dominate her. And really, like, Yan Xiaonan really didn't have much answers. And Jandiroba was going for some submissions. I forget what round it was. Round 2 or round 3. She was trying, but Xiaonan was doing a decent job of defending herself. In the striking department, Yan Xiaonan, obviously has the advantage, but Jandiroba had the full grappling advantage, took advantage of Xiaonan, took her down, dominated her. won all 3 rounds. I think was it the first round was somewhat close, but Jandiroba did enough to win that round. Yeah, Jandiroba was able to hold Yan Xiaonan down and actually hold her down and control her better than Zhang Weili did in their fight last year. Zhang Weili did more damage than Jaroba, but still, Jaroba was able to hold her down, control her, Yan Xiaonan. And the thing, someone say Yan Xiaonan is not the easiest girl to take down, but if you do take her down, she's easy to get control type. She's very easy to control. And it's kind of true with this fight and with Zhang Weili fight from last year, UFC 300. Both things are very true, and it was shown here. And this was, good performance. She's now ranked #1, number one contender fight. She's number one contender. Will fight for the title next against Zhang Weili. I think Zhang Weili is gonna beat her up because based on what I saw in this fight, I didn't see anything to tell me that she can beat Zhang Weili. Nothing at all. Now, even though Jandiroba in her grappling is smothering girls and taking them down and smothering them, the way we all thought Tatiana, kind of like Tatiana Suarez was before the injuries, and is doing it more consistently than Tatiana Suarez. She's doing more than recently with Tatiana Suarez. Her recent performances. I know she hasn't had a lot of fights recently because of injuries, but still. Like early Tatiana Suarez, if you remember her, was taking girls down, dominating them. They were calling female Habib. And Jandiroba in her recent fights has definitely been taking girls down, dominating them, grappling. Kind of like just like early Tatiana Suarez and better than recent Tatiana Suarez, where the Zhang Weili fight, etc. But yeah, Jandiroba and Zhang Weili, that's next, and I think Zhang Weili's gonna beat her. Like I said, just didn't say anything to convince me otherwise. It was changing from that to the main event, the prelims. Danny Ige versus Sean Woodson. Ige won. I'm happy, but I rewatched that fight because while watching live, I thought the stoppage was not that terrible. I rewatched it and yeah, that was a bad stoppage. It was bad. I gotta be honest with you. It was not the best stoppage in the world. The ref stopped it prematurely. Woodson was actually getting up when the ref stopped it. It was weird. It was a bad stoppage. Not a good one. Ige hurt him. Ige did hurt him and wobble him, and he was landing some good hooks to Woodson's head and body shots, but still Woodson was still in it. He was like I said, trying to pop his head, get up, in order to do something. Now it's possible that Ige probably was going to win that round and win that fight because he was up 2-0 in the judges' scorecard, and I know round 2 was close. You could argue Woodson. But I had a Woods. Actually, now I think about it, I think it was 1-1. I think Woodson won the second round. But Ige was able to at times get inside Woodson's guard and be able to land shots inside because Woodson has a clear reach advantage because the guy doesn't want to freaking fight guys his size. That's why I don't like Sean Woodson. Fuck him. Not a fan of that dude. Go up and weight. Stop bullying people. You're 6'2", 78-inch reach. So I can't say that word for some fucking reason. But go up and weight, man. Stop doing that. Fuck out of here. Hate guys who do that. Shit. So part of me was glad to see what Ige hurt him. I wish the ref didn't stop it early because I would love to see Ige knock him out. It would have been awesome to see it. Oh, it would have been beautiful. Or see him beat him up for 3 rounds and win decision and dominate him. And maybe force him to move up in weight, man. But Ige, 50K Ige wins. Good performance by him. The ref screwed up. The ref should not stop in that moment. Should have continued. Should have let the fight continue on and see if Ige could truly finish him or at least get a unanimous decision, which he probably would have. He was going to win that fight, it seemed like to me anyway. But MMA is MMA. You never know. What's a land shot that rocks Ige and maybe steals the round potentially because MMA is crazy like that. But it seemed like Ige hurt him and was on his way to win that fight just based on the damage he was doing on Sean Woodson. But yeah, good performance by Ige. Ige looked good. Ige doesn't lose to guys unless you're ranked or that next level guy. He doesn't lose to guys like that. Danny Ige, that is. So good performance by him. And yeah, like I'm happy. Part of me is happy. Woodson got rocked, and I freaking wish the ref didn't stop it early. I wish it would have been a clear knockout or a freaking dominant decision. It would have been so much happier. But yeah, fuck Sean Woodson. Go up and weight. Stop being 6'2" of featherweight. fucking disgusting, disgraceful. Guys who do that, man. Oof. It's like Joe Alvarez in lightweight, 6'3", fighting at 155. Man, I hope Benoit Saint-Denis next month beats the fuck out of him. Does him dirty, does him like Armasuki and did. Whoops his ass. Ooh, next month I'm gonna be rooting hard for Benoit Saint-Denis in that fight. Rooting hard for him. Pause. Well, rooting hard for him. Still pause, but anyway, yeah, I'm sorry, whatever. I'm rooting for Benoit to destroy Joe Alvarez. We'll transition from that fight to the main card now. The freaking Dominic Reyes. I was wrong about that fight. I think that was the first fight I got wrong too. Actually, it was the Ige Woodson fight. Happy to be wrong about that, but in better circumstances. Anyway, Dominic Reyes versus Mikhail Krylov. Reyes wins knockout first round. I didn't see that coming. I thought Reyes was gonna win, but not like that. That surprised me big time. Freaking Reyes hit the Conor McGregor. What I mean by Conor McGregor? When McGregor beat Aldo in 13 seconds to win the featherweight title, Aldo, if you remember, Aldo rushed in with his chin up in the air, and McGregor just caught him with a left straight, just dropped him. Aldo fell, kind of like sideways or like face, like diagonally. And same thing happened with Krylov and Reyes. Reyes hit him with that left. Same, just like McGregor, counter left. As Krylov had no defense. As he was rushing in, and he got dropped immediately, just like Aldo. It was exactly like McGregor. Even the commentary team pointed out it was exactly just like that. And man, what good victory for Reyes. This is a guy who at this point last year was on a 4-fight losing streak. Well, 3-fight losing streak because he beat Jones. Bullshit, one of the worst robberies in MMA history. I keep saying that. I don't care. I don't care. John gets offended. I don't care. The Jones fans get butthurt. It's true. Just take a sip of water. And yeah, like he was on a 3-fight losing streak. Technically 4 this point last year. And within a year, actually less than a year, he's 4 in August against Jacoby, December against Anthony Smith, and now April. We're in April 2025 against Rick Krylov, and he's won 3 in a row, all by finishes too. So this guy's turned around his career. He's now in the top 10. The redemption arc of Dominic Reyes begins. I mean, it's begun already. Now it's on a 3-fight winning streak. And Reyes got hit, and both guys landed some good shots on each other. Krylov hit him with something early in the round. I forget what it was. I think Reyes hit him with a left. Krylov with a left, and Krylov hit him with something. And man, Krylov just went out there. No defense, just rushed and got dropped and beat up and finished by Reyes. And Reyes is known for a counter left too, and he just played right into Reyes' game and just got caught. It sucks with Krylov. 2 years off, hasn't fought, and he loses like that. But Krylov is still good, man. He's only 32, which if you're a heavyweight, 32 is like freaking 28 or 27 in other divisions. You'd be older and succeed in light heavyweight and even middleweight too. But yeah, Krylov will be back. Like I said, Krylov is very good, very elite. He just the layoff. I just thought the layoff was going to affect him, and maybe I don't know if the layoff really affected Krylov in this fight, more so than him just making a mistake and rushing in and getting dropped. But good performance though from Reyes, and he should have got a performance bonus. I mean, he had a spectacular knockout, a great way to kick off the main card of this pay-per-view. How did he not get a performance bonus? That's crazy. He should have gotten one. That was an impressive knockout. That was fun to watch. Man, Reyes, give him Jan Blachowicz. Let's do the Jan rematch. I mean the true losing streak started with Jan Blachowicz when they gave Reyes another shot at the champ at the lightweight title in September 2020, where Jan Blachowicz famously fucked him up and left him with a bruise on his side, from body kicks. You even saw that fight. Reyes had a big bruise on his side of his body from all the body kicks Blachowicz landed in that fight. But yeah, let's do a rematch. Let's see Reyes try to get revenge for that loss. I wouldn't mind a Blachowicz-Reyes fight down the road somewhere in the summer. As Blachowicz got screwed by the judges against freaking Carlos Ulberg. Terrible decision there. One of the worst robbery of the year, potentially. I'm trying to remember other robberies, but that's a bad robbery. Anyway, shout out to Reyes. Let me take a sip and then go to Mitchell and Silva. Now transition to John Silver and Bryce Mitchell. John Silver wins via ninja choke in the second round. This shocked me. Not that Silver won because I picked Silver to win. It's the fact he choked out Bryce Mitchell. That was shocking. Like, if you had told me Mitchell got knocked out by Silva or TKO, I would believe it. The fact that John Silva, a guy who's known for his striking and knockout power, choked out Bryce Mitchell like that is impressive. Wow. And knowing Bryce Mitchell is a great grappler in MMA, one of the better grapplers in the featherweight division, and the fact that he got dominant, the fact he couldn't get a takedown. Well, actually, did he get a takedown? No, I don't think he got a takedown at all in this fight against John Silva. Something tells me he might have took Silva down on one knee, but Silva got up. Actually, let me check. Let me check my phone. I'm checking my phone because if I do the laptop, sometimes it's glitchy, slows down, and I don't want that to happen. So I do this instead. Game 1 moment. Let me see. Oh, I checked, and yes, Bryce Mitchell got a takedown. He did, but he was like 1 for 14. Like, he kept trying for takedowns, and Silva did a great job stuffing almost all of them but one. But Silva got real quickly, if I remember. And Silva had Mitchell. I swear I forgot. He kept going for takedowns, and Silva just was going for guillotines. And he got a guillotine tight that looked like it was. If I remember, I think it was like towards the end of round 1. It looked like Mitchell might have been out because the way he reacted after he got out after like the round. I think it was towards the end of round 1. It looked like he was out or somewhere where I forget. It was towards the end of round 1, I believe. He had like a guillotine Silva and it was tight on Mitchell. Mitchell's reaction. He was like, oh, oh, snap. Like, it looked like basically like he was out for a brief second, but then got woken up. And Silva also dropped Mitchell in that round. Like, he dropped Mitchell, but Mitchell got up quickly. And Silva just he outclassed Mitchell. Well, hang on. I wouldn't say he won. He was clearly better than Mitchell, but Mitchell actually had good moments. Like, his body kicks and leg kicks were actually landing for him. Mitchell it is, and like he was doing oblique kicks, and those were landing. Like, Mitchell had moments where he actually looked good, believe it or not. I don't want to say he got totally outclassed by Silva. I don't want to say that because now I remember all those kicks he landed. And Silva's striking. I mean, Mitchell's striking was solid, like especially his kicking game. His kicking game looked really good in his fight. Just the grappling failed him, and he was screwed. Because the thing about Bryce Mitchell is that one reason why I picked Silva against Mitchell because Mitchell does not have power in his hands, and his striking with his hands ain't the best. It's really not, and it came to fruition here. And Silva was able, and Mitchell was going for a takedown, and Silva was able to stuff and reverse, get a ninja choke, and choke out Mitchell. He tapped Mitchell, and then he passed out, but I don't know if he tapped and passed out after, or maybe like he passed out and his arm just did this and looked like a tap. Either way, he got choked out by John Silva, and great victory because John Silva against Charles Jourdain got taken down by Jourdain, who's a striker, not a grappler like Bryce Mitchell. Mitchell's a way better grappler than Jourdain. I think they might have fought, and Mitchell beat him. I think he beat Jourdain and Mitchell. I'm not sure, but people were saying that as a reason why I picked Silva, and I mentioned that as a reason why I think Mitchell could win. Because I thought there was a good chance Mitchell could beat Silva, and I thought that because of the fact that Mitchell is the best grappler that Mitch Silva's fought, and I wanted to see how he would handle that, and he handled it with flying colors, man. You know what? We cannot pick against the fighting nerds. We just can't until the fighting nerds lose. You can't pick against them. These dudes just. I don't know what it is with these dudes. They have like they dictate the fight. They control the flow of the fight basically, and it's like it freaks. It's like their opponents get freaked out by it. It's like you're in their world and like you have to. They're like very calm in chaos. It's like even when you try to do the right thing, it seems like you're always playing their game for their opponent, and it's just with these fighting nerds, man. They're like 18-0 now, maybe 19-0 because Mikhail Oseichik, I mentioned earlier. He went to train with the fighting nerds partly in his camp, and he had like Cal Barao and I think one of the other coaches in his corner. So, damn it, watch Mikhail Oseichik go on a championship run or a run in the rankings now just because of that. For shit, I make a joke. Tom Aspinall basically should just go train with the fighting nerds. It'll be guaranteed he'll never lose to Jones. I think he beats Jones anyway. He will beat Jones regardless. But I'm just saying, like, people worried that John might be able to take him down, control him. But shit, he goes to fight nerds. Nope, he's just gonna somehow. It's guaranteed victory over John. He'll be a huge favorite against John Jones. Like I said, Aspinall will be John anyway. But we'll talk about more about that when hopefully that fight gets announced. But still, these fighting nerds, man, you can't bet against them. Silva, I want to see Silva and Lowell Murphy. I want John Silva to knock out Lowell Murphy and give his first L. It's better for the division if you just take out Lowell Murphy, take him out, beat him up, and let's keep it moving. Take him out, do us a favor, John Silva, and people will like you more if you do that. Because some people like you, there's those who don't like you, feel like you're corny, feel like basically Silva in the build up was kind of corny, didn't like the fact that he was basically fighting for Israel, which it's kind of, there's so many things I could say about the Israel thing and the Israelis and all that, but yeah, I could see why people didn't like that. That was kind of weird and cringe, especially you're not Jewish and but anyway, yeah, great victory by Silva. Impressive performance. And Mitchell's still good. I think Bryce Mitchell's still good. And to me, I hope Mitchell can maybe like change out something in his camp, bring in like new coaches or different fighters, because Mitchell to me is top 5 talent. Talent level, he can be top 5. He just needs to work on his striking, his hands. If he can get better training partners and really work and be able to work on that and just get new looks, I think Bryce Mitchell can be a top 5 featherweight. That's my take. And basically what I saw in this fight, he got choked out, but his striking stuff, especially his kicking more so, it's like, man, Mitchell can do it. I think Mitchell has the talent to be a top 5 featherweight. He just needs to, go to a different gym or bring new guys in. I get he loves Arkansas. He's a farm. He doesn't want to leave it. That's fair. Hopefully he can go. Maybe he can go to Texas. There's good gyms over there and train there for a little bit, and then get, even after a training camp, still just go there and get new techniques, improve. I love to see that because Bryce Mitchell, I still like Bryce Mitchell, and I think he's still talented. I think he still has top 5 potential, but I don't know if he can get there with his coaches or what he's doing now. But still good. We'll see what's next for Bryce Mitchell. And Silva, top 10 guy, and for him to fight next. And let's hope he gets Lowell Murphy, because please take out Lowell Murphy, John Silva. I believe in him. He'll do it. And he's fighting nerds, man. That's what I'm picking Protez against Ian Gary now. I can't. Until I see Gary lose until I see a fighting nerd lose, I cannot bet against the fighting nerds. I'm not doing that. No one should. It's like they're like saying kickboxing 2018, 2019, 2020, that era. Or even 2021. They're like that, but they have more of like an aura, more mistakes than even Sig Kickboxing did back then. And we'll talk main event, Sig Kickboxing, the main event, because they were represented very well. But we'll change it to that to another featherweight fight. This was the card of the featherweight division. There were a lot of featherweight fights, important ones. Yair Rodriguez beats Patricio Pitbull. Unanimous decision. Pitbull was too patient, too slow into this fight. Pitbull is a slow starter. He likes to be patient, but man, he was way too slow. And by the time he got going, it was too late. He kept staying outside the ring. He kept trying to stay outside, but he was in Yair's kicking range, and Yair is a very great kicker. His spots ain't the best, but his kicks, man, are very creative, very good. And he was landing some good kicks in this fight. And I think he might drop Pitbull. What was it, end of round 2? No, round 3 dropped Pitbull. But Pitbull had a takedown round 1 at the end, but he didn't do enough to win that round. And I said Pitbull's got to go in and make some takedowns and try to, because Yair is not strong off his back and is very weak and frail. And if you can hold him, take him down, you're able to hold him down, do damage to him. Pitbull wasn't able to do that, by getting a takedown on his own. And Yair just kept kicking him during creative strikes, even though his boxing's not the best, still lands some good punches on Pitbull and landed a lot of good kicks, and was able to beat up Pitbull. And this is a fight that is like, man, Pitbull was 4 or 5 years younger. Like I said, this was 4 or 5 years ago. Pitbull to me beats Yair. Would beat him easily, in my opinion, just because you wouldn't have as much damage as he does now. Would probably start with faster and things of that. And plus Pitbull's coming off he's definitely slowed down a little bit compared to his early Bellator career. And so, someone who's watched Pitbull for a lot of his career, I can tell you this is not the best version of him. This guy got knocked out like over a year ago in New Year's Eve 2023. December 2023 to freaking Suzuki, the Japanese fighter in Japan. And this is not the Pitbull of old. And Yair was able to take advantage of him. He not picked Pitbull to win, and man, I feel like an idiot picking Pitbull because I had a feeling Yair was gonna win. Because originally I thought Yair because of the age of Pitbull and all this and that. But I just thought, I don't know, it's Pitbull. Pitbull's good. He's good at grappling. He can grapple. Yair's not. Yair is very frail when it comes to his body. He's hard. It's hard for him to get up, and I thought Pitbull could do it. But man, I was proven wrong. Pitbull did not do that. Yair fought a good fight. And Pitbull has moments, but the problem is it was too few far. And by the time he did stuff, in that third round, he landed some good right hands and landed a couple shots in the third round, but it wasn't enough. And he got dropped in the third round. And we had an armbar that was tight. That was in. It was in, too, the armbar. I thought he was going to submit Yair. Oh, shit. Pitbull was going to make a comeback. But Yair was able to slip out of it. And it probably had to do with the fact that they were both sweating at that point. That if this was like the first round, maybe he could have had it tighter and maybe could have submitted Yair potentially. But who knows? Maybe not. But yeah, Yair won this fight. Good performance by him. Pitbull, man. I think also another problem is that Pitbull so used to fighting 5-round fights that he just starts off slow. They can, I got 5 rounds to do my thing. And that hurt him. He needs to start faster in his next fight, especially with 3 rounds. And if he can, we'll see if this is like, this is Pip. If I can't talk today, fuck. If Pitbull basically, this is like we're getting like an old Pitbull, a guy who's just washed. We'll see if this is a washed Pitbull in the UFC. We'll find out. But anyway, just not the best performance for Pitbull. Good performance by Yair. And Yair, I heard on Air One he wants a title fight. No. You and John Cena won title fights? No. You don't deserve it. I'll talk more about him in the main event. As I don't know why I got my chapstick here. I don't know, it's just a habit, but we'll transition from that fight to the co-main event. Paddy Pimblett versus Michael Chandler. Paddy Pimblett beats Michael Chandler via ground and pound, third round. Pimblett, this was his best victory, obviously, his biggest profile victory. He beat up Chandler, but the first round, Chandler actually had success. Like, believe it or not, I thought he won the first round because of takedowns. He landed some good punches in the ground, some ground and pound. Landed some shots in Pimblett because Pimblett still has that problem. Pimblett looked good, but Pimblett still has that same problem. He leaves his chin up in the air. Bad defense. The striking, it looked vaguely improved, but not really. Like it still looked horrible at moments in his fights, especially in that first round. And Pimblett looked great against Chandler, but I'm gonna be honest with you, Chandler is not the same fighter from when we first got in the UFC. That 2-year layoff waiting for Conor McGregor hurt him. I mean, people were saying that when he fought Oliveira, how bad he looked against Oliveira the first 4 rounds before round 5. And I just thought maybe it was just a layoff. I thought, man, maybe Chandler still got it. Man, let's see him in the fights. And plus, it's Charles Oliveira. He looked good in round 5, even though he was doing some dirty tactics. Let's see him in his next fight. And man, after round 1, Chandler was just done. Pimblett took Chandler down and landed some good knees to the face of Chandler. And it did work in that third round. He landed that big knee that cut Chandler, and that was the beginning of the end as Paddy Pimblett took him down. And they would take and just ground and pound him, hit him with some big shots, and beat him up badly in that third round. So the ref stopped the fight and stepped in, basically. And it looks like good performance for Paddy. Biggest fight of his career, co-main event, big pay-per-view. He does it. He freaking delivers. His star power is at all-time high now. And there's plenty of options for him to fight if you're Paddy Pimblett. He's got options. Sarukian, you have Charles, you got Justin Gaethje. Like, all those fights could be perfect fights for him. Maybe do it Ilya. Maybe even Ilya. Shit, even Ilya Topuria fight is in the car. Is on the table. Remember, these two don't like each other. They have history. If you remember 2022, March of 2022, these guys get into a fight in the hotel lobby, etc. And the press conference leading up to, I forgot, the pay-per-view in December 2022, when we were trash talking each other. That these two don't like each other. That's a big fight. But it's probably the least likely fight to happen. But of all the matchups I mentioned, but still, it could happen. We'd like to see that. But there's options for Pitbull to fight, and even though Pitbull looked good, I still don't think. I need to see. I'm still down Pimblett. I like Pimblett. I think he's good. He's top. He's clearly top 15 fighter, but I don't know if he's has enough to beat the upper echelon of those guys. Because Chandler says old and at the end, not elite. Chandler had after round one, he just I don't know what happened to Chandler. Round one, he fought good. He took Pimblett down. He actually took him down, and fought well. And Chandler didn't really make that many mistakes. Like I always mention, Chandler tends to make mistakes at bad fight IQ. I don't think he made any great mistakes in this fight. Not at all. It's just that Pimblett, it's just that his age got to him, and just Pimblett just was able to dominate him, take over in round two. And in round three, especially, he put a beat on Chandler. And Chandler just, like I said, like Chandler wasn't able to like. There were moments where in round two, where Pimblett Chandler was open, and Chandler couldn't capitalize, and it's just Chandler looked done. And I want to believe like Pimblett's good, but I don't know if he's there, like top five fight level in terms of Pimblett. I need to see more because people are pointing to this how Pimblett's been beating up a lot of older guys recently, like older guys at the end of their careers. I don't know where Pimblett actually is, and it's fair to mention that Patty Pimblett is. Like I hate to see him against someone younger, someone's in their prime, someone's gonna fight back and not have one round cardio, not just full like Chandler did. I need to see him against someone like I said, Gaethje, Poirier, Oliveira, Sarukian, to see where he's at. Because to be honest with you, I think Oliveira and Sarukian beat the fuck out of Pimblett. I think he's ass whoop. Poirier and Chandler, not Chandler. Poirier and Gaethje, I think he has a shot. He has a shot, but still, I need to see what he does against those guys. So Gaethje, when those guys are good strikers, who can take advantage of his weaknesses, in striking department. But yeah, good performance for him. I wouldn't mind Dan Hooker fight, actually. Hooker's probably get booked soon, but if he's not booked for whatever reason, Hooker and Pimblett, that'll be a fun fight. That's a good fight to see for Pimblett. I'd like to see that fight. And I probably still want to see the Moicano fight, but I don't think they're going to get it. Especially after Moicano lose. He lost, but it's to Islam Makhachev for the belt on short notice, so it's like, I don't think he should be penalized for that Moicano. I wouldn't mind seeing a Moicano fight, because I think that's a competitive fight, Moicano and Pimblett. Plus, they were trash talking each other. Plus, it seemed like they both were open to fight each other. I wouldn't mind that, especially a fight night main event in England or Florida. But yeah, it's more like going to be Gaethje, Poirier, Oliveira, or Sarukian. And maybe Hooker. One of those fights is next for Pimblett, but good performance by him. And we change from that to the main event, Alexander Volkanovski. Alexander the Great Volkanovski, who, by the way, his father is Macedonian, his mother's Greek, just like Alexander the Great from the past. That's why you're in the nickname, Alexander the Great. Let me stand up, show the shirt real quick. Look at this. Look at this shirt right here. Gotta rock that shirt. Oof, I'm so happy, man. I'm not happy as Lucas Tracy because he's the big Volkanovski fan. Lucas Tracy and Bedtime in May. Well, Bedtime's Australian, so it kind of makes sense. But, man, I'm happy to see Volk win. I am happy. Ooh, man, what a freaking great performance, man. I read back and rewatched the fight, and yeah, after rewatching, I gave the second round to Diego Lopez, but Volkanovski won rounds 1, 3, and 5. 2 and 4 Lopez. Although I can understand why some people gave round 2 to Volk, because Volk actually landed a shot that actually robbed Lopez. If you go back and watch, he actually did land something almost like similar to Olszewski and Dumas. It was almost like a forearm to the. It was like a forearm. I'm trying to remember. It was like a left that rocked Lopez, but I think it might have been a forearm too, or elbow that rocked Lopez back before Lopez dropped Volkanovski. But the thing is, Volkanovski was dropped in that round, but he got up immediately. Towards the end of that round too, and Lopez did well in round 2. And this fight, Volkanovski, man, his chin's still there. He got dropped, he got rocked, but his chin, but even he got dropped, he got up immediately. He wasn't wobbly. He still has a great chin. He still has a good chin. His chin's not going, despite getting knocked out back to back by Ilya and Islam. But the thing was, those fights were 4 months from each other. So, and he took over a year off to recover, which helped him tremendously get recover and get his mind back and all that. And man, he looked confident. He didn't look like a shook fight. He looked like a guy who was on a win streak, not a guy coming off back-to-back losses and just did well, man. He in the first 3 rounds went for takedowns. Got a takedown against Diego Lopez at the end of round 1 and landed some good ground and pound. And that was the thing. Volkanovski initiated takedowns to give Lopez something to think about. And Lopez didn't do that. The 2 things I think Lopez did that cost him this fight were not shooting for a takedown. He doesn't get it, but still give Volkanovski something to think about so that way he can, feint a takedown and then catch Volkanovski. He didn't do that and didn't throw any kicks in this fight. Those 2 things to me, I think what cost Diego Lopez this fight were those things. As Lopez was just throwing a lot of home run shots. And he landed, don't get me wrong, he landed a lot of good punches on Volk. I mean, Volk faces it all. He rocked Volk, landed good shots, won 2 rounds, dropped Volk in the second round. He did good, but Lopez could have fought a better fight. Volkanovski, man, he was landing a lot of overhand rights, a lot of fights, a lot of punches in the clinch. He would throw some punch or like close range, and then he would back away before Lopez could counter. He kept doing that a lot. And he threw I think he threw a couple body kicks, but man, Volkanovski, man, this was like a vintage Volkanovski fight. Moving from takedowns, even if he didn't get it, but still getting it just to get the opponent thinking about it. Landing some good punches, good jabs, good leg kicks at times. He didn't throw as much as like some of his previous fights, but still threw a couple leg kicks in this fight against Lopez. And this was an awesome fight. This was a iconic moment for Volkanovski's career. Getting the belt back after back-to-back losses were done. Volkanovski was done. A lot of people were nervous, including me, going this fight, thinking that this was the end of Volkanovski, that he was going to have to retire. But nope, he went out there, won the belt. 36 years old, became a champ again. He had a great quote which said, "Adversity is a privilege." And whew, that quote right there, man, what a quote. Adversity is a privilege, and I get what he means. He went through adversity because he went through adversity, and it was a privilege because he was able to deal because it forced him to get better and change and evolve, and that's what he did, and that's why he won the fight. What a man! Volk is the greatest featherweight of all time. He was to me anyway, but this 1000% solidifies it, and he's already all-time great, but if Volk he might be top 5 of all time in MMA history. He might be. If he beats Evolev, oh yeah, he's definitely top 5. Like we meant to talk about him, and he's top. People talk about him as a legend, but he's in the top 10 for sure. But he's getting close to the top 5 stats. Volkanovski, it's amazing what this dude's doing. Dominating this fight, and I know a lot, and it's crazy because Volkanovski was hated after the second Holloway fight. And I thought the Holloway one got robbed, but still, I was like, man, people hated on him. What's actually started to change was actually the Ortega fight somewhat. That would change people's mind was the fact that he got dropped by Ortega. Ortega put him in 2 submissions in the third round, triangle choke after the other one, and he survived this amazingly, and which was really shocking to see because most guys get put out by that and be able to beat up Ortega. And that's what turned around people's perception of Volkanovski somewhat. And then, of course, the third Holloway fight when he destroyed Holloway, that's really where people just accepted Volkanovski's greatness. But, man, that Ortega fight was impressive. And it's amazing. Volkanovski's wins. He's got victories over Holloway twice, in my opinion. You say 3 times. Twice or 3 times. Aldo, Lopez, Ortega, Yair, Jan Mendes, and Korean Zombie. Who's older Zombie, short notice was, to be fair, that's probably the worst of the victories. Not because Zombie's bad, but just because Zombie took it on short notice and we finally actually had some injury going into that fight as well. So, yeah, but still, beating all those guys, that's an impressive streak of victories Volkanovski has. And, man, what a great job, Volkanovski. That was a feel-good moment. Seeing that everyone was happy. It seemed like everybody in MMA was super happy, unless you're like a hardcore Diego Lopez fan or like of his friends or family. Everyone was just so happy to see Volk with the belt back. That was a great moment to see. Him at 36, breaking that curse of guys 35 and older not be able to win belts in the lighter weight classes. He broke it. He got his belt back, and man, it just shows he's still great. Like it just shows how good Ilya is. The fact that Ilya Topuria it to me, watching Mitchell and Silva and this fight, it just reminds me how good Ilya Tapora is. Ilya Tapora, man, is a the fact that he was able to. I mean, Silva's performance over Mitchell was great, but Ilya's performance was very dominant because he dropped Mitchell and hurt him badly, and beat him up and like bloodied him too before he choked him out. And freaking Ilya knocking out Volk. Now, granted, Volk was taking that fight. It was 4 months in between the Islam knockout loss and Ilya fight. So for Volkanovski, so yeah, I'm wrong. Ilya still got hands. Still got dynamite hands. He just knocked out Holloway, but man, I'll be honest with you. This might be a hot take. Maybe I'm too much in the prison at the moment, but I think Volkanovski Ilya is a much closer fight in a rematch. I think it's a lot more closer than people give credit. I don't think Ilya smokes him. I think Volkanovski has a legit shot against Ilya. If Ilya went down 145 and challenged him, but that's not gonna happen. And man, what a great performance by Volkanovski. Still the man. I mean, just great moment for Volk. Everyone's happy. I'm happy. It's hard. It was, man. I would like to see Bryce Mitchell win. Part of me would have, but still, hey man, Volk won. Reyes comeback continues. Ige beat up Woodson. It was a great night, man. I can't be too upset. I felt good. This card felt good to watch. It was just awesome, man. The fifth round, both guys were going at each other, slugging. Volkanovski was still fresher compared to Lopez in that fifth round. Lopez wasn't tired, but still Volk looked more fresh than Lopez. Lopez won round 4, and Lopez was still in round 5. He landed some good shots on Volkanovski. He was still landing, and Volkanovski with big shots, but still Volkanovski looked better in that fifth round. And man, Lopez will be back. He's going to fight for the belt one more time at least. I can totally see it. He's still one of the best featherweights in the world, and I like Diego Lopez. Lopez, he made his UFC debut in May of 2023. So not even 2 years. It hasn't been 2 years since he's been in the UFC, and he's already fighting for the world title. And gave Volkanovski a tough fight and lost 3 rounds to 2. That is impressive. That shows how good Diego Lopez is. He made some mistakes, but if he just corrects those mistakes, I think he'll be world champ. I really do. I think he'll fight for the belt again. He can be world champion, Lopez. I really do think he can do it. And for Lopez, him and Yair. Yair, you do not deserve a title fight with Volkanovski. You got your ass beat by Volkanovski. You got dominated. I know the head clash that led you getting dropped, but still, even before, you were getting dominated by Volk. You do not deserve a title fight. That was your first victory. You were on 2-fight losing streak before this victory with Pitbull. No, Yair, you don't get a title fight. Fight Diego Lopez. Don't want to hear, oh, you deserve to fight me, losing streak. Fuck out of here. That is the fight to make. UFC is going to Mexico for a pay-per-view in September in Guadalajara. That's the fight to make. Yair and Lopez, considering those two hate each other, there's bad blood. The press conference, they were talking shit in Spanish to each other. Yeah, you call him something. I forgot the term. The Lopez got really offended. In his history between Yair's gym and Lopez's gym, from Yair's teammate and close friend, and Lopez's gym, etc. And it's very tense. There's a tense rivalry between the two. They do not like each other. That's the fight to make. That's the co-main event right there. Co-main event: Yair and Diego Lopez. That in Mexico, Yair's from Mexico. Lopez lives in Mexico. That's an amazing fight. That's the fight to make. That's what we all want to see. That fight. That's the fight we all want to see. Yair, don't do that. Come on now. That's just so stupid. And going back, I want a title fight. I want to fight Lopez, who's talking about Lopez doesn't deserve it. Fuck out of here, Yair. Yair annoys me. He always comes across as entitled throughout his whole career. He always does shit to annoy me. And it's fucking frustrating. There's times it's like, fuck, man. Yeah, it's fun to watch, but damn, his personality's trash. There's times where it's like, part of me hopes Diego knocks him out. Just because of that, but hopefully Yair comes to his senses and people in his gym convince him, no, you need to beat up Lopez. Hopefully his friend Marcos Beltran, who allegedly got confronted by Diego's gym and maybe jumped possibly, tells him, nah, man, you gotta beat this dude's ass. I hope they convince him, and UFC tells him, hey, listen, you beat Lopez, you're guaranteed a title fight next. Hopefully they will convince him he takes it, because that's the fight to make for both guys. That's what we want to see. And for Volkanovski, we need him and Moser Evolev. Evolev's earned it. He's on a 9-fight win streak, and Volkanovski, coach of Volkanovski, said Evolev's next. Even Lopez, he said that if he won the belt, he was going to fight Evolev next anyway. So Evolev's the most deserving. They should fight in September or October in Abu Dhabi. And Evolev, who are you to tell Volkanovski to fight him in June? Volkanovski was in a war, in a tough fight, who took damage against Lopez. You want to turn around and fight in late June? Fuck you, Evolev. Fuck you for that shit. You're always doing this. You're always calling the guys to fight each other in short notice because you have the benefit. You tried to do that Diego Lopez, and when Aljamain pulled out of your guys' fight in October before it got rebooked for December, we wanted Lopez after fighting Brian Ortega to take a short notice fight against you for like a few weeks later. Man, Evolev keeps doing that. That's some horse shit right there. Fuck you for that, Evolev. Such bullshit. Winning advantage, cheap. And John Silva, you don't deserve a title fight against Alexander Volkanovski either. Come on, you just beat Bryce Mitchell. You finally ranked. Congrats. Go beat some ranked guys. Have some good fighters. Have some good resumes. Have some good fighters on your resume. More good fighters on your resume before you call for title fights. Doesn't matter you're 5-0. Still, you gotta go out there and actually, or 6-0, 5-0, 6-0. You gotta beat good opponents to get title fights. Come on now. I remember when Holloway had to win 10 fights before he got a title fight. Yeah, people forget Holloway had to win 10 fights in a row before he got a title fight against Aldo. So come on. None of this Holloway win a couple of fights, title fight. No, you gotta go out there and beat high quality opponents and go on long win streaks. We earn a title fight before you get the championship fight. Come on now. So beat Murphy, beat someone else, then get a title fight. Crazy. It's crazy that these guys are trying to feel like they're entitled. They're trying to go out there and freaking get these matchups that they want when they haven't earned it. It's crazy. But yeah, congrats to Volkanovski. The greatest fighter of all time. Great performance. Diego Lopez had a good performance. I like Lopez. Lopez, I think, will be back and possibly get a title fight. I really do believe that. Lopez is still elite. And Lopez is awesome. Volkanovski's great. This was a great performance by both guys. Like I said, Diego could just hopefully next time he's in a championship fight, he throws more kicks and take down the fence. And between not take down the fence, go for more takedowns rather. Because Diego Lopez has got great jiu-jitsu. His jiu-jitsu is very good. I mean, you've seen in his fights, in his career, where he submitted a lot of guys. I mean, he's Alexa Grasso's, and I think Ariel Donez jiu-jitsu coach for a reason in Mexico. There's a reason for that. It's Alexa Grasso's got a big fight coming up next month against Natalia Silva for the next pay-per-view in Montreal. But yeah, just depending on it obviously depends on who Lopez is fighting, whether he shoots takedowns or not. But still, hopefully his next fight, next championship fight, if he has the ability to throw kicks or go for takedowns and uses his success, he does. But yeah, good performance overall. Still a good performance by Diego. Still a fan, like Diego. He'll be back, like I said. That's like a broken record. And Volk, Alexander the Great, man. Down the song. Just every time I think of that song, Volk comes into my head. And now I'm thinking about this, Volkanovski's performance. That song is getting stuck in my head. It's like the unofficial theme song of Australia, but still, great performance, man. This was a great moment, man. Feel good moment, man. Awesome moment. Iconic moment for Volkanovski. Iconic moment. Awesome fight. That might be my title. UFC 314 review. Amazing card and iconic Volkanovski moment. I'm going to put, that might be my title, my video. Anyway, thank you guys for watching and listening. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys thoughts are about this card. We didn't like, favorite performance. And hit the thumbs up, share the video. Thank you guys for watching and listening. I'll see you guys next time. And also, we'll have one more. Also, hopefully, the UFC comes to Orlando for a pay-per-view. I saw a report that Orlando's trying to bid for a pay-per-view 2027. Hopefully, they come. Anyway, that's just something I want to throw out there in the end. But anyway, thank you guys for watching and listening. Share. Don't forget to share the video, and I'll see you next time. Peace. Now it doesn't want to end my. Here we go.